What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today I want to talk about Umar Johnson, right? Because he back, right? Umar Johnson, and he's in the gym in his buildings that he's still calling a school, saying that he's still about to open up that school, and that everybody gonna eat crow when the school open up, basically. And he said the only people who can talk are the people building institutions, people Pan-Africans doing something. So since I'm a Pan-African that's already did something. Matter of fact, my whole life, I done accomplished a lot of shit already. So I can speak on it. And I've put more children in school than he has so far, right? I done already graduated. I got one graduating this September from university, right? And they're going to get their doctorate's degree in Nigeria because of me, right? I got three more black boys entering into university this year on me. Right, and I'm also paying the school fees, book fees, clothing fees, and all living expenses of all my employees' children as they, go to grade school, move up, and they will be getting their college paid for. So I'm doing that, right? I already got one graduating with accountant. I got one that's going to be a scientist. That's the one that's graduating. She has to go do her, they have an obligatory year service with the Nigerian government, and then she's going to go get her doctorates. I'm going to be paying for that, right? I got all that lined up. So I've done. I don't have a school, but I'm making sure children go to school and get their education. So I can talk on this. And what I really want to know, and the thing is, I don't think people are hating on the school. They don't want it to fail. It just doesn't make common sense how he's going to do it because he's still relying on donations. You see, if he was really this is why I say Umar is not really a Pan-African. Even though he calls himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism, King Kong of consciousness. You see, King Kong's a warrior. That's the thing about it. So I don't agree with him calling himself King Kong. King Kong is a warrior. He fights for real. Right? Umar doesn't. He complains. Right? King Kong takes care of his children. All right? Little baby Kong. Umar don't take care of his children. Right? And his whole thing is to protect boys. Right? And I guess there's a girl bathroom. So I guess he has a plan to have girls going to school too. Even though there's school for boys. But he got a girl's bathroom, so I guess girls are going to the school too? So I'm confused. Who would send their daughters to a guy like this school who manipulates single mothers, doesn't take care of his own daughters? So is he going to be the principal of a school? And then after all the accusations that we've seen, has been proven that he doesn't take care of his own children, yet he's supposed to be taking care of our children, yet he haven't showed proof to concept that he can even take care of his children. And if he's a psychologist, but he couldn't psychologize a decent relationship with his baby mothers, who he had a great relationship with him when he was entering their bodies for enjoyment, but then when shit got real, he couldn't psychologize a great relationship with them in order to take care of his children. He couldn't socially manipulate that situation, right? But he's going to manipulate and socially manipulate our children into having better lives. That's what he's going to do. He hasn't displayed a level of respect for women as somebody who says black women are queens, but when he gets pushback from a black woman, all of a sudden they everything but a black woman, right? But that's the person who we're going to trust because he has a girl bathroom. We're going to trust him with our little babies, our little princesses, to teach them about what, right? We're supposed to trust this person with this particular personality that he's displayed himself, his lack of couth, right? His lack of professionalism, but this guy is going to teach our children to be professional, right? That's the thing. And he calls people struggle streamers, but he's struggling because he's begged for money. You see, I had a small little thing, something I can handle, right? And I collected money and I'm completing it. I'm doing what I say I'm going to do. Somehow this guy 15 years later ain't done it. If you're the most requested scholar in the world, you should be raking in the money. You should personally be able to pay for this yourself. I don't understand why he can't pay for it. How much is he getting paid to go to all these places and talk, right? Because I know people who talk for a living, they get paid. Like, especially if they're that highly esteemed, they get paid 10, 20, 30. The big dogs get paid $250,000 to go talk at a university. How much is he getting paid, right? And somebody who's supposed to be a Pan-African sure don't want to work with anybody because every time a Pan-African, as recorded on camera for everybody to see, try to help him, he rejects their help because he wants to be the King Kong. He wants to be the king of the hill. He don't want anybody else to be on that top of the hill. And he's self-proclaimed the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I don't know who gave him that. And he said he's the most, like, he feels like he individually have saved more boys than anybody, but yet we have not seen one. We haven't seen one. And if I have, somebody let me know in the comment section. We haven't seen one testimonial. We haven't seen one testimonial of any boy that he saved. Ever. We haven't seen one testimonial of any girl that he saved. Ever. But we have seen testimonials of his daughter who he has not saved. What should be priority? Because supposedly Dr. Umar Johnson values family, but he doesn't value his family. Supposedly, you know, black and lovely, you know, forever, snow bunnies ever, but he hasn't found it, you know, in his heart to marry one yet. What is he waiting for? He's not getting any younger, right? What is he, now he say he needs 2 wives, but he don't got his own house to house these 2 wives. Does he have enough money to buy these 2 wives their own individual houses and take care of those 2 institutions by himself? Does he? Doesn't seem like it, right? So all the rhetoric that he speaks and the life that he lives are contradictory. But here's the main question, right? Now, if he gets this school open, I'll eat crow. I'll happily eat crow. Like, yeah, I was wrong. I was talking all kind of shit with everybody else, you know? But here's the thing. There's a thing called operational costs. Let's just, for argument's sake, let's just say 2 teachers, okay? Because keep in mind, this guy had a problem paying his utilities, and he blamed it on white supremacy. You know, he blamed his lack of wherewithal to pay utility bills for a commercial property, right? That's ongoing. Doesn't matter if you didn't use the water. No, there's maintenance costs. There's ongoing costs, right? That he thinks I guess he thinks everybody's stupid. We don't know that, right? But if he's having trouble paying that and he's still relying on single mothers to donate to him, right? How will he pay just 2 teachers? Let's just say 2 teachers. Let's say he's assuming he's going to pay them a decent wage. What's the average teacher in Delaware supposed to get paid, right? Just 2 teachers, healthcare, dental. He got to provide something, right? In taxes. So that's going to be, let's just say $120,000 a year for just 2 teachers. I'm just guessing, all right? For somebody that couldn't pay a $30,000 or $40,000 utility bill, how is he going to pay for that? How is he going to pay those 2 teachers with the dental and medical, you know, insurance that they need? Is he going to rely on, how many single mothers does it take to donate to pay for those teachers for the year? Right? We're just talking about 2 teachers. Now keep in mind, this is supposed to be an institution. We're talking about a high school, a grade school, like he got like 4 damn buildings, right? How many teachers does he need? What about the counselors? What about the principal? What about the security? What about the cafeteria staff? What about the janitors? What about all the other supporting staff that goes into this school? How is Umar Johnson going to pay for that? How many black single mothers that's trying to save their sons need to donate on a monthly basis in order to keep that school operating after it's ready to open and operate? And let's not talk about the insurance liability of having all those children in there. What? So for all his rhetoric, how is he going to operate the school? Is he going to pay himself? Or are you going to do it for free? Because he still got to pay himself. Huh? So the big question is, because real business people, see, the real King Kong consciousness, if he was conscious, he'd be consciously aware that it requires serious money to run this school. Meaning he wouldn't be trying to get money from single mothers while he's sitting on Instagram licking his lips and shit, talking sexual innuendos to people he want to give him money, right? Because they love big, tall, chocolate men with beards and shit. We know there's a lot of women that love that, and that's what he panders to, right? But how many of those single mothers with boys does it take per month to pay the salary of an entire school staff? Along with the maintenance, the ongoing, reoccurring maintenance of that school. Oh, and when those kids go into the schools, this time they'll be using the water. They'll be using the electricity. They'll be needing internet. And you're not going to get regular package Wi-Fi. You're going to have to get commercial grade Wi-Fi and internet for everybody. And you're going to need software to operate your educational system via, you know, the computers and all. How much is all that going to, how many single black mothers does it take to run Dr. Umar Johnson's school? Are there enough to pay monthly to take care of all of this? Because as of right now, it doesn't seem to be enough to get the school done. Because if there were, the school would have been done already. Huh? The man can't even do a damn landscape video. He calling everybody a struggle streamer. He on Instagram begging for money. He got a box. He said, when you come to the cookout, put money in the box. He's still looking to don't get money from single mothers that just want to see a 6'2", dark chocolate black man. They just want to be next to him. He think that there's enough of them, right, to put money in his green, black, and red box, cardboard box, to sustain a school. So I'm just saying, anybody with business common sense, like I run a business. I have operational costs, right? So I can speak on this. I know it costs me money to run my business, right? And his business is, for all intents and purposes, is non-profitable. How does he plan on making a profit? How much is he going to charge these children, or the parents of these children, to go to this school? Huh? Because he would have to charge an astronomical amount in order to be able to operate the school. So if these parents got private school money, why would they send their kids to that school when there's plenty of black private schools that they can send their children to? It's not like he's doing anything revolutionary. There's plenty of black men and black women who operate private and charter black schools with Pan-African agendas, with Pan-African curriculum. So he's not like he's not reinventing anything. He's doing what's already been done and proven already. There's plenty, Chat GPT if you want to know. There's plenty of black Pan-African pro-black schools out there. And by the time his school opened up, you know, because school is changing, right? I mean, in the age of information and Chat GPT, school is fundamentally changing. He still got a brick and mortar school. He still want to do things the old-fashioned way. By the time that shit open up, kids ain't even gonna be doing shit the way he doing it, right? So my question is, who gonna give him? What woman's gonna keep giving him money, huh? Because if they got it like that, they don't need him. If they got it like that, they got enough money to take care of their boys already. So shit just ain't adding up, you know. So I'm just gonna sit back and watch, you know, as an observer. I really wish the school would have opened up. I really wish we'd have did the same things did the things that he said he was gonna do, right? And I know he considers everybody who has criticism for him a hater, a struggle streamer, even though he's a struggle streamer. He's a struggle YouTuber. We know he on YouTube too, right? But he's not even smart enough to monetize that to make any real seriously money. Like, Umar Johnson could have went on YouTube and monetized himself and made serious money and paid for the school. He doesn't seem to be smart enough to do that. Why haven't Mr. Afro Think Tank went to Africa and did this over there in Africa, where it would have been 1/10 of the cost, where he could have had several schools by now, and showed us, since he's a Pan-African, a global Pan-African, he could have did this in Africa, where it would have been much easier, much quicker, much simpler to do, without any white supremacists getting in his way, like he say Delaware is getting in his way. It just doesn't make sense for the king of conscience not to be conscious about this situation, right? And he's so self-absorbed, there's nothing Pan-Africanism about him except for the words that he utters out of his mouth to regurgitate over and over to get people to like him, or say, oh damn, he's so smart, he's so articulate. I mean, words are words, but actions are actions. And so far, we ain't seen no actions. No real, I mean, he's been in that gym for how many years? How many years have we just seen him sitting in the gym doing something in the gym? Painting should have been the last thing he did. He should have fixed all that other shit by now. He's still putting down tile and shit. Still painting and sweeping and doing all this shit that should have been done already. He should have had professional contractors in there doing that stuff. He should have had an organization that was willing to invest in his school, just like other people. When they want to do projects like this, they have serious business investors who are part of the upper crust, who believe in the things that he believes in, and they would have dropped some serious money onto this project because they would have believed in him. For a guy that's so articulate, he can't seem to get black millionaires to invest in his project. So he's still looking for struggling black women to finance his project, as he licks his lips and have them pick him up from the airport and watch his mama while he goes jet setting around the world, spewing his commercial Pan-African for pay rhetoric for the entertainment of those looking and seeking for real black power and Pan-African leadership. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked. And it only takes a little bit of common sense to see that Umar Johnson is in over his head. And his ego is too big for him to admit it. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment sections. Afro Think Tank, learn some, teach them. I'm out.